Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fleming Film Talk with me, Robbie Fleming, and joining me as always is Justin Doyle. Hello, Justin.
That's me. What's up, Rob?
Not much, not much. Just having a lazy Friday evening. What
Oh,
about you?
nice. Yeah, just got off of work. Came straight here to get this going.
Yes, yes. Do you want to tell everybody what we're doing today?
So, Rob and his Fleming Awards. Well, we're going to count down the 2000s Fleming Best Picture winners.
Yeah, best film winners.
Best film winners. So, from 2000 to 2009. And there's some really good movies in here. And just so everyone's familiar, we can discuss some of them. We'll just tell you what they are. We got a couple of Lord of the Rings movies, Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King, obviously in different years. We got Children of Men and Dark Knight, Gladiator, City of God, Million Dollar Baby, Hot Fuzz, Up, and V for Vendetta. Those were the winners from 2000 to 2009.
Yes, yes. How do you feel about the overall winners? As I just picked these as these are my favourite movies from each year. I didn't introduce the group and the voting system yet.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about it for sure, but some of them are worthy, and some maybe not so much. But you obviously loved them from one reason or another, which we'll talk about during the show. And since it is your list, you want to kick it off?
Yes, yes. And I just want to say this disclaimer. I love all 10 movies, hence why they have won Best Film. And my number 10, I do consider to be one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, but compared to these other 9, it doesn't even reach the top. It is a great movie, a great dystopian, futuristic movie. Lots of great action, fantastic acting, and some brilliant stunt work, and it's V for Vendetta
The
from
Dark Knight.
2005.
I kid. That is also my number 10, is V for Vendetta.
Yes.
So let's chat about it.
Yes. I like
Directed
these.
by James McTeague, starring Hugo Weaving, Natalie Portman, Rupert Graves. Top rated number 159 overall in IMDb. Pretty good.
Yes. It also won my Fleming Awards for Best Actress for Natalie Portman, Best Editing for Martin Walsh, Best Production Design, Best Cast, and Best Costuming.
Whoa. Yeah, very familiar costuming actually became a big Halloween costume for that year.
Yes, and
You can watch this.
also inspired a group called Anonymous.
Oh, there you go. You can watch this on Max right now if you got it, but it's about a movie where it takes place in a future British dystopian society. A shadowy freedom fighter known only by the alias of V plots to overthrow the tyrannical government with the help of a young woman.
Yes, and this is my second favourite Natalie Portman performance, and she's phenomenal in this film.
Is number one Garden State?
Black Swan.
Of course, the one she won the Oscar for. But yeah, this is a DC comic book movie.
Yep, I have the comic book. I don't know if I can find it.
Yeah, while you look for that, also starring Stephen Fry.
Love Stephen Fry.
John Hurt, Stephen Maria, Ray. Yeah.
This is a comic book written by Alan Moore, who doesn't like adaptations of his comic books and refuses to have his name on the film.
Oh. This one's written by the Wachowski sisters.
Yes, and you can kind of tell they had a lot of control in the stunts.
This director has also done Ninja Assassin, which I enjoyed, 2009. movie called Survivor that looks familiar but never saw it. Hasn't really done too much. He did Messiah, the TV series, a couple years ago. He did do Breaking In, which is the Gabrielle Union movie. That was pretty entertaining. But yeah, this movie's fine. It's the tyrannical government stuff really doesn't do much for me in movies, and any sort of government talk I'm usually going to be out on. But it is beautiful, well done, nicely shot, and it's my number 10.
Yes, and it's my number 10. Like I said, all the other films are just better, in my opinion.
Yeah, still great numbers here. 88.2 on IMDb, $54 million budget, worldwide gross 134.6. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, critics give it 73%, but the audience loves it with 90.
Nice. Have you only seen this film the once?
Yeah, it's one of those that I wish I had more time. I would have gone back to see it again. Maybe it could have been higher on the list, but
You can always review it.
there you go. To a review on it.
Yes.
All right.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you go first with your number 9.
Yeah, probably that's a smart idea because I know for a fact it's higher on your list. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, all these movies are great, but they have to go in a certain order, and this one is very, very good, but just doesn't beat out the other 8. But did beat out V for Vendetta. This one is a lot of fun, got some good comedy to it, and one of our favorite directors out there working, Edgar Wright. This is Hot Fuzz.
No, I can live with that. I can live with that. It's a tiny bit higher.
Hope so. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about Hot Fuzz in a minute.
Lovely. My number 9 is beautiful and really kicks off. What a great film to kick off a trilogy franchise with. No better movie has done it better than The Lord of the Rings Return, The Fellowship of the Ring.
A little bit higher on my list.
Lovely. But my number 8 is Hot Fuzz, so do you want to talk about that?
Let's do it. All right. Yeah, this is some skilled London police officer after irritating superiors with his embarrassing effectiveness, is transferred to a village where the easygoing officers object to his fervor for regulations as a string of grisly murders strikes the town. Written and directed by Edgar Wright, co-written and starring Simon Pegg, also Nick Frost, Martin Freeman.
Yes, and the star of this film, in my opinion, is Timothy Dalton.
007 himself.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this movie's, it really helped kick off sort of Edgar Wright's career, right? That, Shaun of the Dead, those were movies that really elevated his career to where he is now, where he can just kind of make movies whenever he wants. This one's part of the Cornetto trilogy. And
yes.
With Hot Fuzz,
because there's nothing related to Shaun of the Dead in the screenplay. It counted for best original screenplay and won.
Hot Fuzz did.
Yes, it won my Fleming Award. Also won for best director, best original screenplay, best score, best editing, and best stunt team.
Yeah. Because it's got action, it's got comedy, it's got some heart to it, and some big name actors. Bill Nighy is also in it, Joe Cornish, and like you said, Timothy Dalton. Is this your favorite of the Cornetto trilogy?
It is, and it's my favorite of Wright's filmography.
There you go. Yeah, it's a ton of. I mean, this movie is like kind of made for me. Action comedy, I'm all in.
It's a parody of Lethal Weapon,
which is one of my favorite all times. Period. This franchise, Lethal Weapon franchise, I'm always in on.
So I think it's a parody of that of Michael Bay films.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Uh, that's what Edgar Wright seems to do, is homage to other films. You know, he's a big film lover himself, so that and music, he really makes
Yes.
sure
I'm
to
surprised
bring forth.
Cody hasn't done him as a director series yet.
I think he likes doing larger bodies of work,
Yeah,
because I think he only has what, 9 movies, maybe 8,
7.
7. That was my next guess. Yeah, this movie came out in 2007, and I believe is in one of the it's in one of the top comedies in the film lore.
Yes.
You can see this on Prime Video right now. Sitting at 7.8 on IMDb. 8 million euros was the budget. Worldwide gross $80.7 million. Sitting at 91% of Rotten Tomatoes with an 89% audience score. People love it. Hot
Nice.
Fuzz. My number
Nice.
9, your number 8.
And what's your number 8?
My number 8 is very similar to your number 9. In the sense where it's a part of the same franchise. I just happen to enjoy the first one a little bit more than my number 8, which is The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
That is a
There
lot
is.
higher because I see that one as the better payoff, whereas Fellowship's the better introduction. The Two Towers is great still. It's just not my favourite movie from 2002.
Without Fellowship, there is no return.
Exactly.
So we'll talk more about Return of the King a little bit later. What is your number 7?
It's the only animated film in this list, but it's one of the sweetest animated films I've ever seen, and there are a lot of great movies from 2009, but this one just kind of puts them all aboard, and it's Up.
The beloved Up, higher on my list.
Nice.
So we'll definitely dive deep into that one.
Yes.
My number 7 is 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, is a maybe we'll match up here. We'll see. My number 7 is a movie that is, it's a little slow. It's a little slow, but very memorable for one very big reason, and did really well. I'm sure not only with the Flemings, but with the Oscars, because it won 4. This movie came out in 2004, and it's $1 Million Baby.
Great pick, but it's a little bit higher.
All right, well then let me talk about my number 6, which is one that you've already brought up. It's The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Brilliant.
You take it away.
Yes, so The Fellowship introduces us to Frodo and his mysterious uncle Bilbo. Bilbo gives Frodo the ring, and Frodo and his best friend Sam set off on a quest to find out about the ring. And halfway through the film, they get to the Elf Kingdom, and them and a couple of other heroes, including a cool dude who they meet halfway, who's the true king, and Aragorn, and these other heroes and their friends all form the Fellowship of the Ring. This is a great movie. Although my favorite 2001 film is now Mulholland Drive, I still want to keep this one as best film because I feel like more people would understand the story more of Fellowship than Mulholland Drive, because Mulholland Drive is one you got to watch a fair couple of times. But David Lynch's directing did win Best Director, so made it fair that way.
What else did the Fellowship of the Ring win for?
Best Supporting Actor for Ian McKellen.
Uh-huh.
He plays Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
Best Adapted Screenplay, of course.
Based on a book.
Best Cinematography, Best Score, Best Editing, Best Stunt Team, Best Visual Effects, Best Cast, Best Hair and Makeup, Best Costuming, and Best Original Song.
What was the song?
May It Be the one that plays at the credits.
Nice.
This one's
Yeah.
it's a better song than the one that plays at the end of Fellowship. No, Return to King, sorry.
Yes. This is a hobbit from the Shire and his companion set on a journey to destroy the powerful One Ring and save Middle-earth from the Dark Lord Sauron. Starring Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Orlando Bloom, Sean Bean, Sean Astin, Bill Boyd, Andy Serkis, Viggo Mortensen, Kate Blanchett, Christopher Lee, Ian Holm, and Kate Blanchett.
Yes, he was appeared in 3 of these movies.
Directed by Peter Jackson. And
Yes.
based on the J.R.R. Tolkien book. Yeah, again, there is no fellowship or no king without the fellowship. I just love this movie. I think we get the origin of Frodo a little bit, and I just think that it really set up a great franchise. Yeah, Two Towers is great, but nobody ever talks about it. They only talk about Fellowship and Return, and it's just a great adventure film. Friends, making new friends. Who can you trust? Really great visuals and reasons why it won Fleming. Great cinematography and really good stunt and action. Production so great. It's interesting as it's like kind of the first time that we've seen real good CGI in the sense where people are taller than others and there's even shorter people than that and they all can share one screen together. Thought that was really interesting. So really good film. And is my number 6 and your number 9?
Yes.
8.8 on IMDb. And we already know it makes a buttload of money. $93 million budget. Worldwide gross $898.2 million. Oh my gosh. I mean, this franchise has got to be one of the biggest, right?
Definitely. Now there's also 5 other films as well, and an animated film coming out next year in December.
And a TV series, right?
Yes, I think they want to turn Lord of the Rings into Star Wars.
That's what it seems like.
Think about it. We have an original trilogy, a prequel trilogy, a spin-off series. They just need a sequel trilogy now.
I'm in. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, 95% audience score. There you go.
Nice.
What's your number 6?
My number 6 sadly didn't make as the money Lord of the Rings did. It's actually kind of a flop, but it's considered to be a cult classic. It is quite similar to V for Vendetta in its dystopian setting, but it's grittier, it's darker, and there is no hope. And that's Children of Men.
A little bit higher on my list.
A little bit higher?
Yeah, we're going to start crossing over here real soon because, we only got 5 left.
Yes.
And to kick off my 5th slot, let's see if we can line up on this. Again, there's not much left, so here we go. My number 5 is a movie that really sparked the career of one man and really launched him into a whole new sort of category of actor and celebrity. Also introduced most people to one of the best actors to do it today. Recently, just winning a Best Actor for a movie called Joker. I'm talking about Joaquin Phoenix and Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Just a tiny bit higher.
Ah! All right. So, what's your number 5? Because I'm sure we've already talked about it, right?
No, we haven't. This is the final movie that none of you have mentioned. I want to know if it's anywhere near. I've been badgering you to watch this movie
It's
for a
higher on my
while.
list.
It's City of God from 2002.
Yes, that movie is a movie that were badgering me and Cody to watch, and we finally did, and we did a worth of you movies for it.
Yes, and we can finally do this episode now.
And now we can finally do this episode because that was the only movie I hadn't seen, and it's so good.
You best have seen every 90s movie that's won Best Film.
For Fleming?
Yeah, for the Flemings.
I need to go take a look, but I'm sure. Well, yeah, that one's higher on my list because it's such a good film. And I already know that my number 4 is probably your number 1 or 2, so we'll talk about it in a minute.
What is that?
But it's another comic book film, one of the greatest comic book films people would say. It's from Christopher Nolan, it's starring Christian Bale, and it's The Dark Knight.
A bit higher.
Of course. So now let's talk about one that we've talked about or brought up. What is your number 4?
$1 Million Baby.
Which is my number 7. Okay, tell me about $1 Million Baby.
So $1 Million Baby is a film that starts off as one thing and then becomes a different film towards the third and final act. Because this is kind of a tragedy. It's kind of the rise and fall story of this female boxer. He's really gifted and talented, but Clint doesn't want to train her. But he does. And during one of her fights, she has a horrific accident, and it kind of changes the way of the film.
It sure does. And that's what I was saying when I mentioned this earlier. It's a little slow, but it's definitely memorable because of what happens in the movie. And yeah, it won the 4 Oscars. This is about Frank.
For me, it won Best Director, Best Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Cast.
Yeah, they don't have Best Cast, unfortunately, at the Oscars, but it won Best Picture.
If they did, this would have won.
Right. It won for Best Picture, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Director. Nominated for Best Lead Actor, being Clint Eastwood. Also nominated for Adapted Screenplay and Film Editing. Won for number 176 overall on IMDb.
Jamie Foxx won Best Supporting Actor for Collateral.
Nice. Yeah, this is a movie. Frankie, an ill-tempered old coach, reluctantly agrees to train aspiring boxer Maggie. Impressed with her determination and talent, he helps her become the best, and the two soon form a close bond.
My favorite performance of Hilary Swank's.
I mean, it is so good that she's like, I'm good. I don't have to really work too much anymore because we don't really see her. Last time we really saw her was like The Hunt.
And she was brilliant in that.
Very, very good. Yeah, this was a smash hit. I mean, it's one of those word of mouth ones. It's like, have you seen $1 Million Baby? No? Well, you got to go see it. And then it took me a long time, like years to see it. And I already knew what the big, plot point was. And that actually, it didn't make it worse. Like the way it happened, how it happened was more exciting to find out than the fact that it did happen. Yeah, I mean, boxing movies are going to be hit or miss anyways, and this was a big hit. Pun intended. Hilary Swank's great. Morgan Freeman also in this is great. Clint Eastwood, of course, also starring Jay Baruchel. Anthony Mackie, Margot Martindale, Michael Pena, Ricky Lindholm, and yeah,
Morgan
we are.
is Morgan is who I'm thinking should win my Lifetime Achievement Award this season coming, the 2023 season.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice. This is written by the director who wrote who directed Crash.
Yes, Paul Haggis.
Yes, and then Clint Eastwood behind it all with his one takes. I wonder, he doesn't like to do a lot of takes, but there's a lot of angles here and a lot of moving parts. I wonder if he was like a little bit more lenient when it came to this movie.
Yeah, I
Did
wonder.
really well. 8.1 on IMDb. Budget of $30 million. Worldwide gross is $216.7 million. And over on, or what else did it win for Flemings, you said?
It
Best
won
actress.
Best Film, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Cast.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 90% audience score. Everyone loves it.
Ah, good. I don't think I've ever heard a bad review of it. Even if you're not like a die-hard fan of the movie, like nobody really slags it off.
Exactly. That was your number 4?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk about your number 5. It's mine. I think it's your number 5. Mine number 3. It is nominated for 3 Oscars. From the director Alfonso Cuarón is Children of Men.
That was my number 6.
6, yes. Yeah, in the future, 2027, a chaotic world in which women have somehow become infertile, a former activist agrees to help transport a miraculously pregnant woman to a sanctuary at sea. That itself should haunt you because that sounds like the worst thing. Women becoming infertile, can't produce, can't make more, can't grow the population. I know a lot of people out there would love that, but that's just not how the world's supposed to go.
Alfonso Cuarón won Best Director for me too, as well as Clive Owen winning Best Actor. Emmanuel Lubezki won Best Cinematography, and also won Best Stunt Team.
It's one of the best I've ever seen, the cinematography in this movie.
Because it's raw and gritty, and you're like watching a documentary, and everything just happens just like that. There's no like dramatic effect until the very end.
I mean, yeah, there's just so much buildup and tension, and they do it with that cinematography. You're in the face, you're in their face, you're in it with them, and you're in the thick of it.
He only kills one person throughout the movie.
There are explosions and stuff, so I guess it's hard to tell. But nominated over on the Oscar side for adapted screenplay, cinematography, and film editing, did not win anything. But starring Clive Owen, Julianne Moore, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Michael Caine. Written and directed by.
You forgot Charlie Hunnam.
I just go by what it says here on IMDb, so it's not like I forgot it. It's just not here. This is a top hitter here. I think this would be on a lot of people's top 5 for the list that you put together here for your Flemings. This is the same director as Roma.
Yes.
Gravity.
Yes.
Great Expectations.
He's made a very famous movie and a very famous franchise too.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, that was a big director to get for a franchise.
Especially when his movie before that was a Mexican sex comedy drama.
And Your Mother Too? Y Tu Mamá También?
Yeah.
Y Tu Mamá También. Yeah, what is this here? Alfonso has won 4 Oscars.
Yeah, he's
Yeesh.
won Best Cinematography as well.
He has. He did his own movie.
Yeah, he shot his own movie,
Which one?
Roma.
Roma. He was nominated for Le Pupille, which was nominated for Best Short last year, and winner for Director, Cinematography, nominated for Best Picture and Original Screenplay for Roma. Also nominated for Best Picture for Gravity, one director for Gravity, and film editing. He edits his own too, huh?
Yes.
Nominated for film editing and Children of Men, and adapted screenplay for Children of Men, and then also original screenplay for Itu Mamatami.
He's a very talented man.
Yeah, what is he up to?
How
Huh?
come Clive Owen never gets the rep he deserves? Because he can carry films like that.
I agree. He's a great leading man. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much of Alfonso because he's working on
Yes.
TV stuff. Ascension, Follow the God of Cars, and Disclaimer.
Yes. So I think he's working with Kate Blanchett.
Well, that's too bad. I want to see some more
I'm
movies.
pretty sure he'll do a film when the time is right. He takes his time with movies.
Sure. Children of Men is 7.9 on IMDb. Budget of $76 million. Unfortunately, didn't do that well. Only 70.5 million gross. I think this movie was more popular after the fact because a lot of people
Yes.
are enjoying it now. 92% on Rotten Tomatoes with an 85% audience score.
Yes.
Children of Men is my number 3 and your number 6.
Yes.
What?
So my number 3 is the one, the only Gladiator.
Which was my number 5. Tell us about it.
So Maximus is a Roman general who's the favorite of the emperor, and this makes the emperor's son jealous. So he frames Maximus for his father's death, and Maximus gets exiled and gets put into slavery, where he rises up the ranks to become the top gladiator.
This is your number 3?
Yeah.
Are we missing one? We're missing
No,
one somewhere.
we spoke about Million Dollar Baby.
I know, but I have 2 left, but you should have 3 left.
So we haven't spoke about City of God or Up yet.
Right. But or Return of the King, Hot Fuzz. Oh,
We
we did talk
spoke
about Hot
about
Fuzz.
we spoke
Okay,
about
yeah.
Hot Fuzz.
Okay. So yeah,
Just 4
four
movies
more
we talked
four
about.
movies left. Okay, cool.
Yes, 4 movies left.
Okay,
I
Gladiator.
know you said in the past that you're not a big fan of Russell Crowe, but I think this is his best performance to date.
Yeah, and Beautiful Mind's good. He's a good actor. He's just I don't know. There's just something about him. I don't know. I don't
He
know
was
what
the
it
best thing
is.
about Thor: Love and Thunder last year.
That is true. That is very, very true. And he was just in something too where he's doing a voice
I want to
again.
see. Is it the Pope film? So I really want to watch that.
Oh, I did just watch that actually. I just watched that a couple days ago.
What
But
was it
there's
like?
one more. It actually wasn't bad. Have you seen The Exorcist?
Yes.
I mean, it is pretty much that. So it's got weird, heads turning and gore and blood. I mean, it actually wasn't that bad.
Oh,
But there
good.
is a. Let me see what else this guy was in recently because he was doing another voice and I thought it was really funny.
He's only being Craven the Hunter, and it looks like he's doing a voice for that too.
Oh,
So
I don't know.
I think now he's under that tight cast to do like foreign accents. Val.
Yeah. Which was cool. I mean, he was also in Les Miserables doing some voice work, singing, if you want to call it voice work.
He tried.
Yeah,
He
I mean, it's not his
suited the
fault.
character well he suited the character well. Like if it was a
Sure.
drama, he'd still be good as that character.
Yeah. This movie's so popular they're making a sequel.
Yes, which I'm kind of looking forward to, but I hope they pull it off right.
This is about a former Roman general sets out to exact vengeance against the corrupt emperor who murdered his family and sent him into slavery. Directed by Ridley Scott, starring Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, Connie Nielsen, Oliver Reed, Digimon Hinusong. Who didn't I say? Anybody that you care for?
You didn't say Derek Jacobi or Richard Harris.
There you go. There are some other names there.
And if you were like the MCU and a series called Sons of Anarchy, you'll recognise a young Tommy Flanagan.
Ooh.
He's the Scottish bloke with the scars on his face. You might recognise him from other movies.
Yeah. But yeah, do you agree that this really launched Russell Crowe into a whole nother realm of superstardom?
Oh, definitely. This is
he won
his
Best
iconic
Actor.
role. Yes. So, you ready to hear what Fleming's it won?
Yes.
Best Film, Best Director for Sir Ridley Scott, Best Actor for Russell Crowe, Best Supporting Actor for Joaquin Phoenix, Best Cinematography, Best Score, Best Cast, and Best Sound, and Best Production Design.
This is ranked 37 overall on IMDb, nominated for.
You know who else's career was elevated because of this film?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Well, not just him, but somebody behind the scenes. It was Hans Zimmer.
Ah. Yeah, this is nominated for 12. It took 4. One for Best Picture, one for Leading Role, also one for Costume Design and Sound, but nominated for Supporting Actor, Director, Screenplay, Cinematography, Film Editing, Score, Visual Effects, and Production Design or Art Direction.
I thought it won visual effects at the Oscars.
Yes, it also won visual effects at the Oscars.
I thought it did. It lost to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon for me, which I would believe if you look at the films in that category, Crouching Tiger would be second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is also a period piece with lots of cool action in.
Ridley Scott is set to do the sequel, but it's also going to be out with a new movie this year called Napoleon.
Yes, which I'm looking forward to.
Which stars Joaquin Phoenix, aforementioned Academy Award winner for Joker.
Yes.
This is a good film. I think this is at the top of a lot of people's... it's good. It's good stuff. From DreamWorks, 8.5 on IMDb. Budget of $103 million. Worldwide gross, $503.1 million. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes with an 87% audience score. All of these movies are killing it. Every single one.
They're great movies.
Great.
Do you want to say your number 2?
You say your number 2. You say your number 2, and I'll say my number 1 first.
What's your number 2?
No, you say your number 2 first.
Oh, my number 2 is we can get back on to a franchise because my number 2 is The Return of the King.
All right. Nice. That is my number 8 movie.
Yeah, so I can see why you probably prefer Fellowship because Fellowship's a lot more easier and a lot more better structured. Fellowship is a great conclusion, although because they're trying to end loads of different storylines, it does take a while to like end. It does like it's like Oppenheimer where it takes a while to like end the story.
Yeah, I mean, in the last hour and 15 minutes is a big battle, which is great. I love that stuff. I love stuff like that, but it doesn't make a movie, you know. And I think that for some reason, everyone really enjoyed this one over like, especially like the first one, because it's a big battle, and it's which is fine, but it doesn't add too much to the movie. It doesn't make too much storyline happen. The plot it doesn't move the plot, until that hour and 15 minutes is over there. But on a movie that's 3 hours and 21 minutes, you also have 2 hours of getting to that
Yeah.
time. So it
And I
did take a
think
while.
they introduced the film well with Gollum's backstory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
This is one of the
that's an opening you'll never forget.
This is one of the bigger Oscar winningest movies. I won 11 total. Number 7 overall on IMDb, with Fellowship being number 9. So they're really close to each other. Again, starring Elijah Wood, Viggo Mortensen, Ian McKellen, Orlando Bloom, Sean Bean, Billy Boyd. Directed by Peter Jackson, and written by J.R.R. Tolkien, who's the writer of the books.
Yes.
What did it win Fleming-wise?
Best film, best director, best cinematography, best score, best editing, best production design, best visual and special effects, best makeup and hair, best costuming, best sound, and best original song for Into the West.
Is that the one that plays at the end?
Yes.
When movies win a lot of Oscars and none of them are because of acting, that to me is always a little wonky and iffy. Because Viggo probably should have been, up for some, right? He's a great actor.
I don't know. The performances I have are the main guy in Old Boy, Uma Thurman for Kill Bill, Benicio del Toro for 21 Grams, and Renee Zellweger for Cold Mountain. And bearing in mind, I did not watch Mystic River before I did this, which I should have done, because I would have definitely given.
Those are the acting winners that year.
Yeah.
But not only did this movie win 11 Academy Awards, it was only nominated for 11 Academy Awards. So it was a perfect.
Yeah, and it didn't
sweep
get nominated for cinematography, which it would have won if it was nominated.
Yeah, won Best Picture, Director, Adapted Screenplay, Film Editing, Production Design, Costume Design, Makeup, Score, Song, Sound Mixing, and Visual Effects.
Yeah, I gave Adapted Screenplay to Memories of Murder because it's more uniquer.
Ian McKellen could have been nominated for Supporting Actor. It's just unfortunate that
I wouldn't nominate Elijah Wood for Best Actor. He's great, but he's not a Academy Award-winning actor.
No, and Vigo's pretty much the main character, and he becomes the main character. I know our through line is Frodo and the hobbits, but Vigo's sort of the one that we're rooting for.
Did you see Kate Blanchett or Miranda Otto getting Best Supporting Actress? Because I'd say Miranda Otto's character is the only woman that's actually utilized.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was written at different times. So I'm not going to point out issues because that'd just be wasting my time.
Right. This time, Gandalf and Aragorn lead the world of men against Sauron's army to draw his gaze from Frodo and Sam as they approach Mount Doom.
I still find it weird that the women of the universe are still called the race of men. Again, nothing against that time period. Tolkien was a clever man.
Yes. Fellowship. 15 Oscars total there. Wonder if Two Towers. Where are we? Right here.
What's your number 2?
Let me just finish this out. Budget of $94 million for Return of the King. Worldwide gross $1.147 billion, 9.0 on IMDb, and over on Rotten, Return of the King sits at 94% with an 86% audience score. All right. My number 2, aforementioned, because everything's been mentioned, was the movie that you bugged me and Cody to watch. And boy, did I enjoy every single sweaty, raw, gritty moment of it.
You would love this movie.
City of God. Top rated 26 overall on IMDb. Nominated for 4 Oscars. None of them was for Best International Film. How is that possible?
Corruption. Maybe the other countries just paid more.
Oh my gosh. Makes no sense to me. Probably would have won. But it was nominated for Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, and Best Film Editing. It is tough to get a nominee for Best Director and not Best Picture.
Yes, but
it does happen.
But for me, it won Best Film and Best International Film. But it also won Best Director. But I didn't just credit the main director. I credited the woman who co-directed this movie as well.
Katja Lund.
Katja Lund, yes. Also winning Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Editing. What a great movie this is from start to finish, detailing the lives of these boys in the slums in the 60s and the 80s. It feels real. Nothing feels made up. Nothing feels over top or over exaggerated. It's just a gritty slums of Rio de Janeiro. You see all these actors are from there. They know how to act like they're in the slums.
Yeah, in the slums of Rio, 2 kids' paths diverge as one struggles to become a photographer and the other a kingpin. This has drugs in it, sex connotations, very heavy in crime, and it just worked. The cinematography is amazing. Every shot is beautifully done. The transitioning, the editing, like you said, is so well done. It really was. It was a movie that seemed like it was going to be homework, and it wasn't at all. It just really worked.
Film I recommend you is going to be homework.
Sometimes it feels like. I mean, it kind of is. You tell me to watch something that's kind of like homework, right? It's like a teacher telling a student, "Go do this." It is, but it felt like it.
I'm watching movies one day.
I know sometimes it's hard with international films you can't just watch it on your phone, because you got to read subtitles, so you got to get it on the biggest screen you possibly can.
Don't you watch all movies that way on the biggest screen you can?
You should watch all movies that way, but it's a little more accessible to watch on your phone sometimes. One of the best films of that year. What's that?
I have to be like doing something while I'm watching a movie.
Yeah. It is awesome. I mean, you want to talk about just something so independent and making some really good film out of it. This one lives up to it. And I think, did it spawn a sequel?
A sequel and a series.
City of God 10 years later, which would be in the 90s, because this takes place 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yes.
Based on a true story, actually.
And I know 2 actors in this movie.
Well, the only one I know is Alice Braga.
You've seen this gentleman in a film we spoke about with Cody last time. Sir Jaw, who's the cowboy in Asteroid City with Jarvis Cocker. He's the same one from Life Zisku who sings the David Bowie songs.
Mm-hmm.
Life Aquatic, Steve Zisku, the bloke who sings Bowie songs in Portuguese.
Okay.
He's in City of God. And he was one of the cowboys in Asteroid City.
That's interesting.
And obviously, Elise Alice has her breakout role 5 years later in I Am Legend, which won the Best Visual Effects Fleming Award in 2007.
He's just credited as other cowboy. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Other cowboy.
Other cowboy.
And Alice Braga was in I Am Legend. Predators, Elysium, recently in Hypnotic, which was, boy, oh boy. She also voiced in Soul.
Yep.
And some other Repo Man. And that's about
Suicide
it.
Squad.
Suicide Squad, yes. 8.6 on IMDb is City of God. Budget of whatever, 3.3 maybe rubles. I don't know what Brazilian money is. Worldwide gross is 30.6 million. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 97% audience score.
People love this
love
movie.
it. All right. Well, we all know what my number one and your number one is now, but since my number one was a lot lower on your list, let's just talk about it first.
Up is one
the
of
only
most
animated movie
in the world.
What?
Up is one of the most beautiful animated movies in the world.
And very, very beloved. Yes, the only animated movie to win for the Fleming this year, this decade. Directed and written by Pete Docter, voiced by Ed Asner and John Ratzenberger. It is the lovely Up. Actually, they have a new short that came out this year.
Yes, they did.
It's Carl and Doug, I believe, or Doug and Carl.
All right, Justin. A Fleming Award-winning actor lends his voice to this film. I'll give you 2 clues. It's not Ed Asner and it's not Christopher Plummer.
Delroy Lindo.
Yes.
Yeah, Delroy.
I'm glad you remember the 2020 Fleming Award winners.
It wasn't that far away. John Ratzenberger, who's always in pretty much every Pixar movie.
Apart from recently, because he's not in Soul or Turning Red or Luca or Elemental.
Right.
But he'll probably be back for Toy Story 5.
Yes, he's great. Even did in the Cars movies, they have bloopers and stuff. And
yeah.
So he's the semi in it, but also voiced Pam in it in the blooper reel. So he was 2 voices in it. Well, I mean, he's more than just 2 voices, but 2 big main characters in one movie. I thought that was really cool. Anyways, Up is about 78-year-old Carl Friedrichsen travels to Paradise Falls in his house that's equipped with balloons, inadvertently taking a young stowaway. You know, the first 20 minutes, 10 minutes of this movie is one of the most heartbreaking things that you experience or you could experience in life, but they put it in a animated movie and everyone cries and everyone will cry. So yeah, his whole thing is that he wanted to take his house like he promised. They were going to go with his wife to Paradise Falls, and this kid who's trying to be a scout takes a liking to Ed or Carl and goes to Paradise Falls, and it turns out there's talking dogs there and birds, and we meet the villain there, but the animation is great, the voice acting is great, the story is just fantastic, and yeah, when you can really grasp everyone's feelers and attention in the first 10 minutes, you're going to have yourself a really good movie. And that is what this movie is. Very, very good. And yeah, one of the better animated slash also Disney Pixar movies out there.
Yeah.
And to me, my favorite Fleming winner of the 2000s.
Also won Best Animated Film, Best Voice Acting for Edward Asner, and Best Original Score, the first score of Michael Giacchino's 3 wins.
Ooh.
Inglorious
Yeah.
Bastards won the most that year.
This was 112 overall on IMDb, and this is also one of the first times I think maybe this has happened, but this is when they were doing more than just the 5 nominations. So this movie actually got nominated for Best Picture, and then also got nominated for won for Best Animated Picture. So that would have been interesting to see it win for Best Picture and
I
Animated.
think if I did this now, I would change my Best Supporting Actress win. So I got Heather Graham for The Hangover, and I think I just like Heather Graham and wanted her to win.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Flemings are. It's what you want.
Not now. I let you and everybody else vote for them.
Sure, but you have decades and decades of what you wanted.
No,
Best
I want to
achievement
let
in
the public vote.
sound editing. It was nominated for. It won for best score for Michael Giacchino, it is a great score.
Yeah.
Nominated for original screenplay. So 5 nominations, 2 wins for the Oscars. 8.3 on IMDb. $175 million budget. Worldwide gross, however, $735 million. And up on IMDb sits at a whopping 98% with a
It's
90%
also the
audience
fifth
score.
animated film to ever win Best Film at the Flemings.
Nice. All right. Well, we know what your number 1 is because it's your favorite film ever. Let's talk
Second
about
favorite film ever.
it. Mm-hmm.
The Dark Knight.
Which is my number 4.
I'm happy that you had it higher than you had it on your Nolan list.
Talk to me about it.
So this is, if you guys have never heard of this Michael Mann movie called Heat, it's practically that with superhero characters. And the Joker is putting Batman and Harvey Dent to his test, and Batman has to stop the Joker from causing chaos in Gotham. On paper, it is a fantastic screenplay, and the way how Nolan's directing brought this to life is just perfect. And obviously Heath Ledger's performance as a Joker is great. I mean, my only issue with this movie is that Christian Bale gets overlooked because of the supporting cast, but at the same time, you kind of watch Batman movies and read Batman comics for the villains and for the other side characters he meets. Same with Harry Potter. It's all the characters Harry Potter meets. They're interesting. Harry's kind of a bland character.
He's a straight man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the menace known as Joker wreaks havoc and chaos on the people of Gotham. Batman must accept one of the greatest psychological and physical tests of his ability to fight injustice. Joker is menacing. Heath Ledger's menacing. He won Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars because of his performance, which is tough to do for comic book characters.
Yeah.
But it's been done twice for the same role. Also nominated for cinematography, film editing, art direction, makeup, sound mixing, and visual effects. It won for sound editing as well.
Yes, and two of the actors in this movie are now on the Fleming Awards Hall of Fame, and they are Heath Ledger and Morgan Freeman.
Looky there. Also, it's got some good stars in it.
Yes.
It's got Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, also Aaron Eckhart, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Cillian Murphy, Gary Oldman, Nestor Carbonell. Written and directed by Christopher Nolan. Do you think Oppenheimer will be his next movie to hit the $1 billion mark?
Do you think that the 2023 winner of Best Director will be Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer?
I hope not.
You'd rather it be Greta Gerwig for Barbie?
I don't know, actually. It could be Martin Scorsese. It could be Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve's out the running now.
Because his movie doesn't come out till next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he might win for 2024.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I asked because Dark Knight is one of the $53 billion grossing movies out there, 57, whatever. Budget of $185 million. Worldwide gross is $1 billion. We don't need to say much more about this movie. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. It's one of the
just
people's
had a
not
whole
only.
massive chat with Cody about this movie, so I might have to lay off talking about this movie for a while.
Yeah. Well, most of these movies that are in this, we talk about it, pretty good amount. Maybe not a City of God, obviously, but Hot Fuzz definitely a bunch. Gladiator a bunch.
We
But
rarely
yeah,
get to speak about V for Vendetta, so I'm glad we got to talk about that.
yeah. 9.0 on IMDb, sitting at number 3 overall. And let's see what it says, if I can spell it right. Over on IMDb, 94% from both the audience and the critics.
Nice.
There you have it. Let's run down our list really quick, just because it's all over the place.
My number 10 was V for Vendetta from 2005.
You can just say them all.
My number 9 was The Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring. My number 8 was Hot Fuzz. My number 7 was Up. My number 6 was Children of Men. My number 5 was City of God. My number 4 was $1 Million Baby. My number 3 was Gladiator. My number 2 was The Lord of the Rings Return of the King. And number 1, The Dark Knight. I managed to match the best pick, the Oscars, with 3 films.
There you go. 10-1 for me. V for Vendetta, Hot Fuzz, Lord of the Rings Return of the King, $1 Million Baby, Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, Gladiator, The Dark Knight, Children of Men, City of God, and Up.
Great list.
Yes. Cool. Well, there you have it. Those are the Fleming Decade Award listing from 2000 2009. What would be at your number 1? You let us know in the comments below.
Yes, please do. Please do. Or just even just rank the ones you've seen out of these 10.
Yeah, there you go. No honorable mentions because there isn't any. But what do you have any movie recommendations for this week?
I do. There's one of the ones I want to talk with you on your channel, but I'm going to talk about the other one I just saw tonight, and that's your second favorite movie, I believe, and that's Sisu.
Sisu, yeah. Sisu is awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome. Picture John Wick mixed in a war room setting.
Yeah, just kicking ass and taking names.
Yes.
It's brutal. It's gritty.
And has great cinematography.
Yeah. It's Mad Max trying to get from one spot to the other without being bothered, but he gets bothered. There is brutality to dogs in this movie, so just be forewarned about that. But yeah, it is kick ass. I mean, it's brisk too. It's not long and has a good point and message. And yeah, one of the better movies of the year.
Definitely, definitely.
I will recommend a classic. People have seen this movie, I'm sure, but I just rewatched it. On Sunday, LA, Southern California was threatened with a hurricane. And, it's August. So we were like, what in the heck is going on? Hurricane Hillary was going to rummage through LA and Southern California. And they were like, you got to prep, you got to be prepared, you got to do this. And then it turns out that all it was just some rain, which the rest of the world gets it all the time. So that day, everything shut down on Sunday. So we stayed in and watched a bunch of movies. And one of the movies that I watched and loved and still holds up, was Clueless.
Yes.
Clueless is a fantastic film. It's just a lot of fun. Stacey Dash, Alicia Silverstone, Brittany Murphy, R.I.P., Donald Faison, and Paul Rudd. Has not aged a single wrinkle. But this is a shallow, rich, and socially successful Cher is at the top of her Beverly Hills High School pecking scale. Seeing herself as a matchmaker, Cher first coaxes two teachers into dating each other because she's trying to get her grades up. This is very much like Emma, the movie Emma, and Emma period. It's the same sort of storyline, but done
Yes.
in Beverly Hills.
And has a
It's
great
just a lot of
sound.
fun. Great soundtrack, yes. And Brittany Murphy, so good. And of course, Paul Rudd, so good. Written and directed by Amy
I hope if they
Heckerling.
make a Brittany Murphy biopic, I hope they portray her in good light.
Directed by Amy Heckerling, who also has directed one of my favorite babies in movie, Look Who's Talking, but also directed Johnny Dangerously, Fast Time at Ridgemont High, National Lampoon's European Vacation, Look Who's Talking 2. There was a spin-off TV series of Clueless. She also directed Loser, which is a fun little film. She's done other TV shows, The Carrie Diaries, Gossip Girl, and The Office.
Nice.
Amy Heckerling. Go check out Clueless.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
What are we doing next time?
Oh, I thought of a really good idea. I thought, why don't we do our top 5 favourite child performances of all time? So
Child performances?
so we never really get a chance to talk about the performances from the under 18s.
18 and under.
Yeah, so they have to have been under 18 when they were in that role. It can't be Marty McFly, like Michael J. Fox being a 30-year-old playing a 15-year-old, and same with the guy from Clockwork Orange being a 30-year-old playing a 16-year-old. They have to be under 18 at the time they're playing the role.
So Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone. Jonathan Lipnicki in one of his many great roles.
Yeah.
Haley Joe Osmond for The Sixth Sense. Chloe Grace Moretz for Kick-Ass.
Jennifer Lawrence, Winter's Bone.
Was she under 18 at the time?
I don't know. Maybe she was it says teenager. Maybe she was 19?
Yeah,
Let me check.
We'll just stick with 18 and under.
Let me check real quick. Let me just check Leo's. She was the second youngest Oscar nominee for Best Actress. I don't know. Let me see how old she is. She's in her 30s, I thought. 33. So in 2010, she was 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doesn't count. Maybe she was 19. But yeah, there's some good ones in here. I'm
You're not
excited. That
saying
sounds great.
Jodie Foster had a whole career of playing kids when she was a kid.
Yes. Okay, I'm in. Sounds great.
Sweet.
Cool. Well, where can they find you, Rob?
You can find me here at YouTube on Fleming Film Talk if you want to know all the records for the Fleming Awards. We now have an official website. Just type in on Google the Fleming Film Awards and the Wix website should stay up. Although because Robbie Reviews was taken down because of copyright laws, there are no pictures of like posters or actors or people. Just the records themselves.
I love it. Cool.
But
Sounds
if you
good.
want to vote, if you want to join in the fun and vote on the Fleming Awards, we have a Facebook group you can join.
Do it. Lots of conversations happening over there.
Yes.
All right. I love it. Sounds good. Check that out. Check this out. Check us out. And we will do this again next week. Until then.
Until then. Bye, Justin. Thank you for coming on.
See ya. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.